growing up, I guess, writing papers for school, it was a family affair because everybody had something to say about the writing all the time. So sometimes I would get frustrated and be like, why don't you guys just fucking write my papers for me, because I can't deal with you checking this one, and this one says you should write it this way, it sounds better. So that's sort of how I write. And interestingly enough, I think through this body of work and through another one that I'm coming out with soon, I'm actually not I'm not bad at writing. I think watching my dad have gigs as a jazz musician growing up in my house, so that all these guys would come over and make noise all night, or we would go to different speakeasies and he would play, and he was an older gentleman. So I think watching my father was very honest with me. At some point he told me that he was faced with a decision to follow his dreams, to go to California and become a musician and do what he was meant to do, or he had met my mother at the same time. So he was like, I chose to stay with your mother and have kids, and God bless you and your sister, and it's all great. But he said, I chickened out. He said, I chickened out from following my dreams. And I'll thank him forever for that, because I don't want to chicken out for my dreams. So my dad was the person who was behind me the whole way of pursue your dreams, don't give up on it no matter what. So he was that voice in my life, versus my mother, and that side of the family was, my mother is a doctor's daughter who, because she didn't marry the right man, my father, she was cut off from family help. So the doctor's daughter cleaning toilets, and my dad, the jazz musician, made me. So I think between the two of them, my dad was a Freudian psychologist, then he opened his own child psychiatric practice, then he became a stockbroker, but the whole time he's gigging and doing music, my whole life. So when he finally went to prison for telemarketing scandals of South Florida, I wish it was more exciting, he found his craft again. So when he was in prison, when my father was in prison, my sister also overdosed and passed away. So I was 21, dad goes to prison, I don't know how to take care of myself because I'm a spoiled brat, so I crash into adulthood with Figure It Out. And 2 months later, my sister dies in California to an overdose. So I was like, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't get out of bed. And art saved my life on multiple occasions, whether it be music or arts or so. I think in the beginning I was always trying to be an artist or be what I thought I was. And then I think life happened enough where I think art sort of, there was one set of footprints, as they say, where some people make work because they think it's cool. I feel like my relationship with art is different. If I don't make work, I die. Like there's no point anymore, because I think 6 months ago I buried my mother. So I'm 36, my whole tribe is dead. So music, literature, it's literally my lifeline, I think without knowing jazz and listening to Etta James growing up and all this stuff, I wouldn't have made it through those moments. Like those historical songwriters saved my life. Like their lyrics kept me going through guns to my head and all kind of stuff. So I feel like I'm on borrowed time a little bit, because I tried to pull the trigger and my gun didn't fire. So it was like a real God moment where I took the gun, I threw it in the water, but then 10 minutes later, I spray painted my whole upper body gold, put on purple bell bottoms, cranked up the music and started dancing for like 6 hours straight in my studio, like a lunatic. So now when I see people on the street talking to themselves or dancing, I really relate to them. I'm like, that's what happens when the world just snaps you.